Hey, we're live, baby.
We are live. Live. Hello. Cool. All right. And we are live on the Instagram.
Yeah, man, check it out.
Yeah.
Doing
See,
it, brother.
now we got to figure out which camera to look at because you got your camera over there, my camera over here. Are you off the Wi-Fi on your phone, sir? Yeah, you didn't get the
I am.
Yeah, YouTube, please. We got Carrie, the lovely Carrie here, listening in and fielding the comments on Facebook. Don't have anybody fielding the comments on Instagram. And yeah, you're not going to be able to do that.
Cool.
And I can kind of see the comments over here on the YouTube. We are on slow mode on YouTube. You can only comment every 23 seconds.
Man, it's freaking good to be here, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, TerraVerb.
Hello,
and
everybody.
its creator, Mr. Steve Christian.
Oh, man. It feels good to be in the Peacemakers layer, man. This is where it all goes down, doesn't it?
Oh, this is where the songwriting goes down.
Yeah?
We practice about 15 miles up the road.
Yeah. Oh, man, I appreciate you having me here. And, dude, known you for a long time, but this is kind of a special time of year for everybody, friends and family. So I just wanted to, make a moment for us to just, be one-on-one and just chill and vibe and hang out and, just talk gear and hang out and stuff. So
it's been just over a year since I got my TerraVerb.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only guitar I've played for the past year. And, man, I can't say enough. I absolutely love it.
That says a lot, man, because, you've worked for some pretty big music companies. You've not to throw names around, but you've worked for Fender. You've worked for some of these big MI guys. You kind of have the pick of the litter of what you can play. So, that just means a whole lot to me, dude, that you play our guitars and that you don't just have one on the wall, but you gig with it.
Yeah.
That's huge, man.
I gigged with the Takamine for a very long time. And once you brought the demo of this around.
Yeah. It might have been this prototype, actually, because this is prototype. This is prototype number 2. And I don't know if he knows, but that's serial number 1. So, and now I think you did a custom serial number, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So but this was the first one we did, and for Jesse. So yeah.
23rd one off the assembly line.
That's right.
Custom serial number inside.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We're gonna work on a signature guitar next.
Yeah, that'll be it. Oh, that'll be great.
Spalted maple or shiplap top with black hardware.
That would be dope.
Maybe a little wood burn Peacemaker skull right there.
Oh, we could do a word burn. I think we'd have to do it here in the States when we do our preamp installation, we do our QC, and then do a little custom thing for you. That would be cool. That would be very cool. That'd be very cool. So if you guys are familiar with this guitar, first of all, thank you for anyone that's watching. And, throw a comment up there if you're here watching. 1 minute, 20 minutes, whatever. We appreciate your time. This was kind of a born idea of mine mid-COVID when, things were just wild. The world was going all upside down and topsy-turvy. And I just wanted a project I could do that wasn't part of my job. And, nights and weekends, I was drawing guitars and drawing headstocks. And, we went through the whole process of trying to get this thing off the ground. Luckily I've been very blessed with good people around me to help with this. This isn't a one-man show at all. Far from it. My business partner, Kristen, and her husband, Bob, are just tremendous. And they've been a wealth of knowledge when it comes to business and just product design, marketing. So really, it came out of just the love of guitar. And I wanted something that was kind of unique in my own, There wasn't anything on the market that did what I wanted it to do. And so I saw this as an opportunity to have a blank piece of paper and draw up this kind of dream guitar that did all the sorts of things I wanted to do. So, it's come here, it's out, it's arrived. It's It's kind of surreal, not gonna lie, holding something that you dream about at night and starts on a pad of paper. But I think we did pretty darn good with it. You know, I think it's attractive. It looks good. It sounds good, and you know, Jesse can tell you he's gigging with it all the time. So, how many gigs do you think you've played with it now? It's been a year. So
it's been a year. We're not gigging every week or anything like that, but you know, I mean, between you figure I'm practicing with it every week, and between practicing gigs, I mean, I have to be. I'd say be playing it at least once a week.
That's awesome.
Maybe 52 times, you know, other than practicing with it at home and stuff.
That's huge, man. That means so much.
Written a song on it.
Oh, what song did you write on it? What's the title of it?
The last one I wrote called Something Missing.
Ooh, I like it. Was that written in this room? Or was that written in future?
No,
place?
It was written in this room.
That's cool. These walls could talk, man.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. It's cool being in here. And like just to point out, man, a huge shout out and thank you to Jesse James for having me here. But I mean, look at the collection. I mean, it's so eclectic. We have BC Rich's Ovations. We have Takaminis. We have like antique Gibsons, if I'm not mistaken.
The Gibson is in the case over
Gibson,
here.
okay. We keep her safe. And
65 J45. That stays in the case.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like you have the opportunity to play all this stuff, and you know, it's just wild that you're playing my guitar. You know, it's as much your guitar as it is mine at this point. You know, we've done so much with it together. So
yeah, I absolutely love it. The beveled comfort edge right here is I've tried it on a few other guitars, and if I wanted something in a guitar, it'd surely be that.
Yeah.
It's light. Yep. It's light enough, but still sounds full. That's what I love about it. You know, before even plugging it in, not that you need to plug it in, but before even plugging it in, it's right up there with my Takamine, and you know, even my Gibson. It's got a good natural sound to it, which, you know, above all the electronics is really important. You know, important to me anyway when I'm sitting here, you know, playing it to myself.
Right. Yeah, it's got to speak to you as an instrument. I mean, like these are our tools as musicians. And I think we get caught up in the hype with what's new and exciting all the time, but does the gear work for you? Right. I mean, it's just as tonight, like anecdote will like pull back behind the curtains a little bit. Like we're setting up cameras and setting up microphones and we're using stuff every day, but what's the stuff that gets the workflow the best? Right. And I think that's kind of where this thing shines is, you know, not only does it have amazing like effects and a looper built in it, but it sounds good as a guitar. And it needs to.
Wait, did you just say it has effects and a looper?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
No, I knew that. Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's the other side of this guitar. The high vibe preamp, which
get a little close up for you guys on this.
It's an amazing thing that, you know, you got an app on your phone to dial in some of the effects on it. Like he says, it's got a looper. And that you can control with a pedal. Yep. Where's that pedal?
Gotta get you that pedal. Gotta get you that pedal. That's on me.
But the metronome, you know, I love just being able to record song ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you can flip through a bunch of the different loops.
Do you have a loop like just plugged in?
I actually do.
Even if it's such a quick one, I'd love to.
Yeah, I do. Let's see. We go over to the playback feature.
And I'll walk you guys through on this side too. Like it's a really simple interface. This is not a touch screen. But yeah, you got yourself the playback feature. You go left and right in your menus, volume up, and speed up, speed down. It's all right there, man. You can dig in the app, but it you know, it keeps a record of the loops that you're recording. So pretty handy. Yeah, it's pretty freaking fun.
You play over your loops. I like how the fader knob here as well. I have a song called "Country Boy in a Metalhead Skin," and it's a song, you know, as a metalhead, it's got distortion, and with the fader, I like that you can turn off, basically turn off all the distortion, fade it back up, and still have. I don't know if you can hear it. I turn the amp down, but
I think they can hear it. Yeah. I mean, acoustic guitars, frankly, haven't changed since the 1960s. The last big innovation on an acoustic guitar was the Ovation guitar by Charlie Command. It was the first one to incorporate a preamp on stage. Paul McCartney was playing these guitars on stage. It was the biggest deal in acoustic guitars ever. Right in the 60s, people started playing arenas. The Beatles started playing around the United States. And most acoustic guitar players had to use a microphone on stage. Well, with 10,000 screaming girls in front of you and a loud stage volume, everything was just feeding back. They couldn't get acoustic guitars through the PAs at the time. So John Fishman and Charlie Command worked together to put together the first preamp in an acoustic guitar, but that was in the 60s. And since then, I don't think anything really has been revolutionary until now. And if you think about it, we are traditionalists as guitar players. We like wood instruments. We like a classic look. We're not super progressive when it comes to the design of the guitar, some more than others. I think electric guitars have actually done a much better job at looking cool and being more progressive. But us as acoustic guitar players, and I play both, we've kind of been stuck. I mean, it's like 64 that preamp came out, and people are still buying Martins today that have the same square head stock, a preamp you can't see. And so I think this is like the big step forward finally in the acoustic guitar, to have effects, to have distortion on an acoustic guitar, to have an echo. I mean, it just becomes
and
to be able to do that is so
mine's
wild.
Plugged in.
And mine is not plugged in.
That's not plugged in at all.
No, this is all on the guitar. And it's done through, I guess we could talk about the tech.
Yeah.
So essentially, yes, there are two inputs. This preamp's charged via USB-C. There's no 9-volt batteries, right? I've changed so many 9-volt batteries over the years. It's just silly.
It's annoying.
It's so annoying, especially right before a show. Did I change it? Did I not change it? Like,
yeah. How long has this one been sitting on the guitar?
Right. Totally, man. It's unbelievable. So we did a USB-C on here. And the high vibe preamp has a bunch of built-in effects, but really how this works, if you want to get under the hood for you gear nuts out there, we have a under the saddle piezo pickup. That signal goes into the preamp and out of the preamp to two actuators. And if you want to learn more, check out the TerraVerb Instagram page, check out the TerraVerb YouTube page, check out High Vibe, the actual manufacturer of the preamp that we partnered with on this guitar. They bunch more information. We'll go over a little bit more here too. So there's two magnets, actuators. They're essentially speaker magnets, and they vibrate the guitar, and that sound goes back through the preamp out. But you don't need to have it plugged in to make the sounds come through. Nothing is plugged in. The guitar becomes the speaker. And that, I think, is kind of, most people hear it and they go, what? Where's the speaker? And like, I've had people look at this at guitar shows and they start looking at it, trying to find like where the speaker is. There is no speaker. The guitar is the speaker. So that technology on its own, whether it's an echo or an octaver or getting some weird stuff like
that's great.
And I can go even louder with the effect. It can get pretty loud. But if you want to blend it in and kind of get it going. Now you got a little bit of a wet signal, a little dry signal. It's just wild. The other thing too is these effects, it comes preset with a bunch of them, but you can go in the app and adjust them and EQ them. Now, I think you spent a good amount of time doing that. And after this live stream, I'll post some photos of Jesse's, one of his like custom EQs, just so you can see it. And feel free to download the High Vibe app. It is free. You don't need a TerraVerb to get the app to just get comfortable with what this thing looks like and how it works. You don't need the app to use the guitar, but if you want to dig deeper, the app lets you adjust these preamp settings. It lets you stack effects on each other. This one I have marked crystals is like a delay, a notch filter, a chorus, and a tremolo all in one. And you can title them yourself, save them as presets, and upload them right into the guitar, and they're there forever. So it's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the what is it, a 5-band?
5-band EQ.
5-band EQ.
Yep.
You can't access it from the preamp on the guitar. You can only access it from the app. But I mean, once you have that dialed in, it's unless your phone dies.
True. Now, but if you have it dialed in, it saves it as a map. So if you're at a show and you don't need your phone to have the guitar work at the show. But if you have your preamp loaded in, you're good. It stays there.
Okay.
But if you want to adjust the EQ outside of the normal parameters, which would be basically a volume and I think a sweep, you do need the app to do it. But again, find that tone you love and then just save it.
Right.
And that's what I do. And you can have as many as 12 effects saved in here. Now I'll kind of get close on this. Again, this isn't touchscreen. This is just a simple cycle. Yeah, of course, man. Of course. You're just cycling through the menus. And it's really just one of those things. And I can actually get closer to it, Jesse. It's fine. Hey, aloha
Avi,
from
man.
Avi, my
Awesome.
man. I love it.
Cindy says looking and sounds great.
Oh, thank you so much.
So we're just gonna move the.
How's the camera angle, Carrie? Does it still look good? That's good.
You've got that in the way.
We've got that in the way. Okay.
So,
Sorry,
yeah.
I see you looking at my my YouTube a lot, and not your Facebook. So I wanted to kind of get all the cameras
It's all good.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
in line here.
That's perfect, dude.
And
Thank
let's
you.
get the Instagram back.
Just
All right.
Just to get this up a little, the light, just a little. There you go.
Awesome.
Perfect.
All right. Sorry, we're doing production while we're live streaming.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There
Love
we
it.
go.
Thank you. And aloha, Avi. So
Yeah,
glad
man.
you joined us. Listen, all right. So Jesse and I go way back. We worked together for years, and Avi was one of
Our customers.
one of our best freaking customers, dude. He's in Hawaii. Big shout out to Avi, man. Love you, dude. Hope you're doing well. I know you've been you've dealt with some stuff with the tornado and everything. So
And the volcano too, right?
yeah, man, it's been tough out in Hawaii. So aloha to you, man. Shout out. Let's connect after this, bro. And Aunt Cindy, thank you. Love you so much.
Joel's watching.
Big bro, love you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we were just digging into the tech side, but really, man, this is the guitar. You don't need to be a tech genius to use it. This is an instrument that's super easy to play as a guitar, first off. And then you just get a bunch of goodies with it. You get effects in it. You get a looper built in it. If you want to dive deeper, you can. But you can also just pick it up and play it. And frankly, the first time I got my hands on this, I left the effects off for about a week and a half just to feel the instrument. And then you turn it on, you're like, oh, I want them on all the time. But it's like, I wanted to feel the prototypes, the woods, the grains, to make sure it sounded the way I heard it in my head. Because it takes a long time to get these woods right. Now, we went through so many different tops. We went through a cedar top. We tested cedar, mahogany, spruce, open pore spruce, gloss spruce, and we settled on an open pore spruce. And for a couple reasons. One, when we put it in the wave format editor and the graphic EQ, it was the most solid across the board. It had good warm lows. It had a punchy mid-range. It had sparkly top. And it was also one of those things that I think aesthetically looked good. And then we went open pore, so no gloss. This guitar is just the wood grain. And that I think helps with like the projection of the sound. It also, I think, feels and looks great. But when you put that lacquer on, that gloss, you're muting a lot of the frequencies. You're covering up the sound of the wood. And if anyone knows anything about guitars or wood, you want the wood to breathe and speak. And so the more gunk, paint, gloss you put on it, the more it dampens the sound. So we went naked as we possibly could. And, I think it's one of those things where it looks traditional enough, even though it's got some little armrest bevel and the fancy preamp, but it's still like, as a guitar, looks like a guitar,
Sounds like a great guitar. Like I said, that's the thing that it's going to sell me as an acoustic guitar player anyway, is, how does it sound not plugged in, without effects,
Yep.
And it's I can't say enough.
Yeah.
I played that Takamine, since we worked together.
Yeah, man.
And
you put a lot of hours in that guitar.
As soon as I got this one last November, I hung up the Takamine, and
shit.
I actually just down tuned it a full step.
Word.
Yeah, I'm writing a song for you remember Frank Morin?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He passed away recently, and I'm writing, and he has a song called "The Man in the Iron Mask," and that's written in a full step down. So I said, "All right, Frank, if I'm going to write a song about you, and your guitar isn't a full step down,
you gotta honor him.
That's how I'm going to have to do it."
Yeah, dude, absolutely.
So I leave that up on the wall and pull it down when I work on his song.
Cool.
But
that's cool, man.
Other than that, it's nothing but the TerraVerb.
I love it, man. That's such an honor, man. And like, there's been a couple guitars throughout the years that I've fallen in love with, and it's kind of a dream to have the one that you fall in love with be your own. And I'm not just saying that. There's just something pretty surreal about that. But I also was, not gonna lie, I'm pretty picky when it comes to gear. It took me a long time for me to go with this setup, with these woods. This might be the second production prototype that I'm playing, and Jesse's, he's right in the production line with all the other guitars. But there was a good 4 guitars in looks and testing, putting the preamp on a certain top, on a different back. There was a lot of this going into it, and there was a lot of thought, man.
What are the rest of the woods on it?
So the rest of the guitar is, and I'm super glad you mentioned it, so this is a mahogany back and sides, and dark wood, looks sharp, traditional. And one thing we did, which I needed to make happen on this guitar, was I wanted this thing to be as stable in different climates as possible. So I live in the Northeast. It gets hot and humid and cold and dry. I have set this guitar up one time. When I put new strings on it, I'll look at it. I'll give it a sight down the neck. Everything looks good. I don't even need to tweak the truss rod. I just changed strings on it about a week ago. We're still stable. So we went with an engineered black wood for the neck because it's weather resistant. We also wanted to make sure that we went with a it's like a stable mahogany for the back of the neck. Mahogany is a great wood for support materials. So if you don't know much about guitars, the top is where all the beauty happens. The top is what vibrates. That's where the sound comes from. The rest of it is aesthetic, yes, but it's more of a supportive material. So I wanted mahogany because it's strong. It looks great. But the neck for me, and the bridge and the nut are all engineered black wood. And because of that, it doesn't move. Like, it will not move. I've had this guitar for over a year and a half. I've never had fret burrs. It can't shrink because of the type of material it is. So that was important to me, that if I send one of these to California or Miami or Maine or Texas, that they're not going to get a different experience. I want it to be consistent, but also it's drier in certain places. You gig all over the Northeast, man. It's dry some days, it's wet others. So that was important for this thing not to shrink, not to have any issues with the frets popping out, and the neck to stay stable. So that's what we went. It was a hard decision. We wanted to go with ebony, but we ended up going with something we thought was more stable, even though my heart was set on one thing. I went with the right idea for the product, right. Because if I was thinking of it as if I was going to spend my money on this, I would want it to be that way. So, tons of ideas for new materials for next models, but we've learned a lot with this. And it's been stable. No lifting on the bridge. It's been good. Have you had any issues with like setups or anything on your guitar? It's been pretty stable.
Not set, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's been good.
it's been great.
That's awesome.
I leave it in between sets. I come back to it. It's still in tune. The only issue I had was that one slide issue.
Yep, we took care of that right away.
That we took care of right away.
Yep.
And it's nothing that doesn't happen to any guitar.
Yep.
I've seen it on many guitars, and it's just an issue with the tuning peg, and
got him a new one right away.
right away.
Yep. That day.
At a show.
Yeah.
At a show, this guy shows up.
Oh yeah.
Um,
He said, "Listen, I have an issue with my machine head, my tuning machine." I said, "Where are you?" And he said, "I'm here." I said, "I'm coming."
which I feel,
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot about the man that stands behind his company. He may not rush up to Maine and get you your tuner,
But we sure as heck will take care of it.
right?
There's no
absolutely.
doubt in my mind that we will get anything like that sent out, rush, expedited. We do not want you without anything.
Ethan Bush agrees with you. He
Oh.
says, there's my sales rep. Great guitar, sounds great.
I love you, man. Thank you, Ethan, my man. Down in Georgia. We got
Oh,
Georgia in the house. We got Virginia. We have Hawaii. This
Right
is
on.
cool,
Yeah,
guys.
man.
This
Hell
is
yeah.
really cool. This is cool. Do you want to play something, Jesse? Do you want to just
We can
pick through
play-
a tune? Do you want to
play-
sing and
play
play?
a
And I'll
tune,
just kind
sure.
of do a little diddle on top? or-
Yeah. Well, we talked about a couple songs, but
Even something that I might know from your repertoire is cool. It doesn't matter to me. I don't have a capo with me, but I can certainly.
all right.
You
well,
got something in without a capo?
Yeah,
we could-
yeah.
we could pick through.
Yeah.
Should have brought a capo. That was my bad.
I have another capo somewhere.
Okay.
I think no, it's on the guitar that's actually in the TerraVerb case.
Well, we'll pick through some with that one.
The
right
great
now.
case over there. But yeah, we'll do Wasted Days.
Sure.
Sorry, I wrote called Wasted Days. To know who you are and why I've never met. I'm of an angel with a devil's smile, a face I won't forget. What's your name? Where are you from? Why'd you come to me? Now you're gone, I must move on. You're just a dream, just a dream. Yeah, just a dream. How long rest my head, be with you once more. Nothing's ever felt so real, and I've never been so sure. No one's ever made me smile quite the way you do. Even through these wasted days, I'm still lost in you. Wasting away the days, day that never seems to end. Wishing there was a way, walk beside you hand in hand. Wasting away the days. Wasting away the days, Cricket. I come home to close my eyes. I don't take the time to read. The curtain's drawn, I'm all alone, but you'll be in my sleep. beside you, hand in hand. Wasting away the day. Wasting away the day. What a way.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. Sounded good.
Sounds good, man. Sounds great. It's good having a singer in the room.
Yeah, it's usually just you playing it on YouTube videos.
Yeah, man. It's nice having a singer, man. Appreciate that. Absolutely. It's all love, man. That's good stuff. So, let's talk about you guys for a little bit. Jesse James, man, I want to give you guys some spotlight. You've been super gracious with your time, man. And, so what do you guys got going on next? What are you doing? Are you in a writing phase? Are you in a recording phase? Are you
always
now?
in a writing phase, as much as I don't want to be right now, because right now we have, I think, right around 23 original songs, and we only have one recorded.
Got it. So that's the priority. Probably get some stuff recorded and
get it recorded.
But you guys are killer live. Not that I've also played in the band and think you guys are good live, but I've seen you recently, and I think you got an awesome freaking lineup.
Yeah.
And you guys rotate some folks out too. You're not just one. It's always these four guys. I mean, if you check these guys out, you might get surprised. A new musician might just be stepping in that night and playing these tunes. So
yeah,
it's pretty exciting, man. I'm not gonna lie, you know.
Yeah, last show we had a fiddle player.
Nice.
Noah, Todd was playing on fiddle. Noah, who's been playing lead guitar with us for a while now, he actually picked up the banjo, so he's hopping back and forth between the lead guitar and the banjo.
That's awesome, man.
You know, we've had Austin Hills, who's a tremendous lead guitar player, songwriter. He laid the lead work on our single "All the Drugs" that you can find on all your favorite streaming platforms,
Cool
including
tune,
Spotify, Pandora, YouTube Music, Apple Music. What else?
All of your favorite streaming
Amazon
services.
Music, all of that. Bandcamp.
Is Bandcamp still a thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. SoundCloud. It's all on there. But it's the only song we got recorded right now. We released it April 20th of last year. And currently working on recording the one you just heard, actually.
Cool. Wasted Days. That's a jam.
Working on Wasted Days next. And trying to just, push them out there. We're kind of doing everything ourselves with the help of a friend of ours, Keith, out in California. He's doing all the mixing and mastering.
That's awesome.
But as far as all the tracking goes, you're looking at where we track the guitar for All the Drugs is right here.
Nice.
Did it right here in my basement. I got iRig Pro. Went from.
It's amazing what you can do with your phone these days. What was the guy that just had that #1 single on YouTube? Northman, North of Richmond.
Oliver Anthony.
I mean, you just don't know when lightning's going to strike in a bottle. Like you have to keep putting that stuff out there.
Right.
You just don't know. I mean, he did it with like a Samsung smartphone and a USB mic or something in his backyard. He's picking on a resonator guitar, and it's like, man, you just don't know when something's going to click with people, right?
Yeah.
He's got no major labels, no backing or anything. He just
#1. He's got a tour now, and Joe Rogan supported him.
I saw the shout out. Hey, how are you, Linda? Good to see you. Good to hear from you. That's awesome, man. I love it.
But other than that, I think we've played our last show for the year at this point. It was at the Pine Loft about a month ago.
That place was cool, by the way.
Great,
I stopped by,
place.
And it is awesome. It is pine wood everywhere. Good drinks, great beer.
Yeah,
good food, and they had a bunch of. There was like a festival going on there, right? It was like a small music.
Pine Stock.
Pine Stock. There was a couple of guys that were playing. Really cool, man.
Yeah, there's some
local
really
music
cool
out there. I mean, if you get anything out of this one stream, go see some music, man.
Go see some local music.
Local bands.
There's some good people out there. There's some great people out there. There's some not so good people out there. But I feel that most people were not so good at some point.
So we can always get better, right?
Give people a chance to get better if you don't like them at first. I know from when we started jamming together to where I'm at now, I like what I do a lot better. So
Yeah, I mean, we're
You
always
know.
trying to strive and improve, and I at least I think that's one thing we have in common.
right. So yeah. Other than that, our next gig is scheduled gig anyway. Is at Tommy's Tattoo Convention in April.
Oh, that's perfect, man.
At Mohegan Sun.
Oh, cool, man.
So,
You're playing
yeah.
at the casino.
Yep.
I dig it.
Yep.
I dig it. That's
So
awesome.
I'm
man.
assuming it'll be in one of the room, one of the
One of the breakout rooms, or
yeah. I don't know how they do it, or one of the open areas, that they have, like, not festivals, but
yeah, they have like your vendors,
vendor
and your breakout stuff.
shows and stuff like that.
That's cool, man. I dig it.
So yeah, we got a hour set there on that Saturday, April 13th.
Cool.
Only band playing that day. They're only doing one band a day.
Nice. So you get good attention, and
it's going to be 99.9% original set.
People talk about, they play originals, they play covers. Listen, guys, everything was an original at one point.
That's true.
I mean, everything was an original. If there's no new music, there's no new music.
Yeah, you're out playing a bar for 3 hours. That's one thing. But when you get a chance to play a 1 hour original show, a 1 hour show, people are there generally to see the music.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, and that's kind of also what we're gearing more towards. Less bar shows, except for Four Dad's Pub, because, well, those guys treat bands amazing.
You got to support those local places.
They really do good for the bands that roll through there. And at this point, if a bar can't do what they do for us as a band, then I don't want to play there, because Four Dads is above and beyond, and they just got a new location in Coventry.
Oh, that's cool.
So
they're branching out.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. You're playing at a live venue. What are you doing with the TerraVerb 4 setup? Are you doing anything different with the preamp? Are you using a certain output or pickup or input?
I'm usually using the output here.
Yep. Okay. Got it.
And straight into their DI. Actually, usually into my acoustic, and then out of that
into the PA.
Yeah, depending.
Jokes.
Oh, John. Yeah.
Not all heroes wear cable.
Oh yeah. Who's that, John?
John.
Oh baby,
And
keep them
Alex
coming.
Says, let's go to Steve.
Yeah, baby, Alex. Good to hear from you, man. Over at in the Midwest.
But yeah,
right now.
I'm
awesome.
playing bars, and I bring my PA, usually coming out of my amp.
So the reason I asked that is because Tommy Emmanuel uses an acoustic amp for his preamp instead of going straight into the DI.
Right.
And he thinks it adds some people say it's getting in the it's too much in the middle, but like he gets the tone he wants, and then that tone gets sent to front of house.
Yeah.
So like that's a cool thing. Like we're not just running one output. We have an output and an input, and again, USB-C. So you can take your tone, run it straight to front of house through a DI, or run it through your amp and then get the signal front of house that way. And you still get the effects, or if you want, you can get it without the effects.
Right.
So you run them usually with the effects on.
I'll run them
for
with
certain tunes.
With the effects on for certain tunes. Country Boy and a Metalhead Skin, I use the distortion tune.
Yep.
Or the distortion setting. And I have the EQ set up. Before that, I also like the boost setting on this,
just to get a little bit of a hotter,
little bit
signal.
more oomph.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's wild that you can run it with wet and dry, or just wet or dry. I got to do a little bit more experimenting with that, with not just like recording, but playing live with it, because I think there could be some cool things to do with like panning or running in stereo, or just even having a dry signal for front of house and then having or having it dry for monitors and having it wet for the audience, so the audience gets the effects, but your in-ear just hears dry. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can cut it up, but yeah, I think that's awesome. And you just go right into your acoustic amp and then to the
acoustic amp at a bar show. If we're playing at a music venue, generally I won't even bring my amp, and I'll just go right into the DI that they have on stage.
Yep. And you getting the tones you need out of it? Been good?
Yeah, it sings great, man. I can't say enough.
I appreciate
There's
that,
been
man.
nights with the Takami where I'm like, man, I just don't like the way it's sounding tonight. I don't know.
One thing
what
about that
it is,
guitar,
or-
it would break strings often.
It would break the B string.
The B a lot. And I remember being playing shows and having with you and having a string pop here, pop there. We always got through it, but it just peace of mind, man. Like we were talking about workflow earlier, like whether you're in the studio or you're on stage, like it's just easier if it's cleaner and you just want things less complicated, you know?
And to work for you.
And to work for you too. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I don't bring a backup guitar to the gig. This is it. This is all I bring to the gig ever.
I love it.
Somebody said, I think the night I unwrapped it, I remember that. The night I unwrapped this, it was at a gig at Hartford Road Cafe. And somebody said to me, well, like, what if it doesn't work? What if something happens? I was like, it'll be fine. And it went through all 3 hours just fine, and it was
man.
great.
I dig it.
It's like I don't need no backup. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's awesome, man. I love hearing that. It's got to work, man. It's got to work. It's got to play. And like, if all else fails, you got yourself a guitar that you can at least run a signal with. You still have a pickup no matter what. I've never had one of these fail at a show or studio work. I've never had anything like that happen. New technology, right? There's those early adopters, and some folks will get involved with it before others. But the company High Vibe is very legitimate. They are absolutely consummate professionals. They're actually out of Paris.
Really?
And I met them at NAMM. Oh man, we're going back to like 2018, I think 2019, pre-COVID. And their founder is I think his PhD is in acoustic. It's not audiology, but he doesn't do acoustic treatment, but it's electrical engineering, physics, and audio combined, right? He was describing it to me, and I just don't remember what it was, but very smart individual. And he's the one that came up with this preamp. And, I just was like, there's something about this that just caught my eye, man. I just thought like it was the most amazing thing. And the preamp, not only do the effects sound great, but the guitar, just with the effect of the actual natural sound without any effects, sounds great. So that was the thing, is how's your preamp without the effect sound? Right? Because if it sounds all great with effects, cool. But when you run it dry, what is it like? And I noticed it sounded good too. So I was like, okay, these guys know what they're doing. And we just kept in touch, and eventually, put our guitar and their preamp together and made the TerraVerb. But these guys are super legit and absolutely on top of their game, and firmware updates constantly. Not constantly, I'd say every month you get something.
Yeah.
But it's not like they need to do it. They're adding features at this point.
Right.
They're adding a little bit of an extra effect here. They're adding a wider parameter there. There's different ways to calibrate the guitar. You essentially get it out of the box and it just works. But if you want to dig in deeper, you can adjust things, tweak things. Did we have something over there, Carrie? You were saying?
No, I was going to say my favorite feature is it's a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh yeah,
that's the other thing.
That's right. It's a Bluetooth speaker.
Is yours connected to your phone?
I could do that very quickly. I am positive that is possible.
This is the feature for the very amateur guitar player that still wants this guitar.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's cool.
Also, actually, for the gigging musician as well, I found that I can leave my guitar on stage, play music through it, and plugged in, it's going to come through the PA, but it goes from my phone to my guitar out of the PA. In between sets when I'm playing stuff. But if you want to hang this thing up on your fireplace and listen to music through it without it plugged in.
I mean, I just got a little bit of some definitely copyrighted music. Shout out Eagles Hotel California.
Yeah.
But my phone is running right now and the music is coming through the guitar. Again, right. There's no speaker. The guitar is the speaker, right? And so, I just have YouTube playing through the guitar. Yeah, right. As you were saying. Yeah.
I got something that's copywritten, but we're allowed to play it. So hold on.
Just hit pause up there and
that way they don't stop.
It's a little hard to.
That way they don't stop our video.
Yeah, by all means. If you can pull something up.
Oh yeah.
Boom. There it is.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like we don't spend a lot of time on the demo videos about, but we probably should because you're getting a Bluetooth speaker with your guitar. I mean, that's pretty dope. Either it's in your closet, on a stand in your room or your studio, and it's playing music. Or honestly, I bring this stuff to the beach and I just have it sitting in the case playing music the whole time. And
Right.
It's great, man. You know, I just have a full blown Bluetooth speaker while I'm wherever I'm at. If I want to play over it, work on changes. Perfect. Awesome, man.
There we go.
I dig it. So you got the whole instrument as a Bluetooth speaker.
And this is our single, All the Drugs.
Yeah, man. Oh, perfect choice.
It's funny too because this part's meant to sound like an old school radio.
Yeah.
And coming out of that, it sounds really neat.
Yeah. That is cool. That's wild, man. It still blows my mind. Oh yeah, baby.
Hang this right up above your fireplace on the wall.
Dude,
I mean,
it's part of the room, man. Heck, you could play a movie through it if you wanted to. Anything Bluetooth connects.
True.
You can run anything through it.
And the other thing that allows you to do as well, if you have an instrumental thing or something that doesn't have
like a backing track,
that doesn't have a solo, if you want to play along with your Bluetooth, you know what I'm saying? Like you can play right along with this song.
Oh, absolutely. I dig it. It's that bonus thing. And thank you, Carrie, for first of all your help and pointing that out, man. It's such a big feature. And again, we're musicians, we're always talking about like, oh, how do you play on it and like the effects and the looper. But you know, the fact that you can use it as just a Bluetooth speaker on your room, man, it's awesome. Yeah, right. You know, I'm worried though. What if you got guys at bars like, oh yeah, I play. You know,
Yeah,
they're just muted.
Yeah. They got some karaoke track, and
they're just like, oh yeah, they're just, you know. But yeah, man, it is so cool. Actually, when I first heard the preamp, I was at NAMM, and they had it on a wall, and one of the guys was playing Achy Breaky Heart. I walk by, it turns it on, I go, what the heck's that? And then he pauses it, and I walk away, and I walk back like 2 minutes later, I pass the guitar, it turns it on again, and I'm like, what? Where's this music coming from? And it comes around the corner. He's like, oh man, you know, it's part of the guitar. And I was like, what? It's part of the guitar? Like, this is crazy. So yeah, right here, man, it's built in. Oh yeah.
John wants you to do I Remember You by Skid Row.
Gary, we'll write it down. We'll make a list for you for next time, John. 100%. I dig it, man. I dig it. Awesome.
And like you said, it's got metronome too.
Yep, it sure does.
Which I think it goes.
Every good musician needs to spend time with a metronome. Even if you don't like it, it's good for you.
It goes,
it's like eating your vegetables, man.
Goes all the way up to 32. It goes all the way up to 32 as far as the time signature goes, and then BPMs goes up to 260.
Jesse, it's really fast, man.
And goes
oh my gosh,
all the way down to 20. So from 20 beats a minute.
Largo, as they say, classical music, largo.
20 to down to or 20 up to 260. So
you got to write a song now that has every time signature or has every tempo in between. So start.
That's a lot of songs, man.
For the first 4 bars at largo, you just and 2, then end it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that'll be about the length of the song, too.
Oh man, that's wild. That's wild. Oh yeah. You
So
know,
I'm sure you can hear the distortion.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Ah, dude, so cool. So cool. That and the acoustic guitar itself. Man, it's
Yeah,
so
dude, it's
wild.
such a cool feature.
All,
Just-
you know, I feel like for years acoustic guitar players have been kind of neglected with effects. I'm sure people want to play with them. I mean, look at Billy Strings. This cat's got a whole pedal board. He's got a little microphone right here. He should be playing a TerraVerb. Billy, we need to talk first of all.
Yeah, come on, Billy.
Come on, man. But in all seriousness, he's got a full pedal board. I mean, there are so many things you can do that haven't been done yet because this has been left alone. The acoustic guitar has been kind of in the corner since the 60s and nothing really has happened. And electric guitar is getting beautiful DIs, effects pedal boards from every company you can imagine, new amplifiers, new recording software, new plugins. I mean, it's like they're getting all the treats, man, you know? So finally, you know, we get something. But that something's pretty important. So I'm just happy that you're playing it. You know, we've got about a couple minutes left. Do you want to play another jam before we hit the hour mark?
Sure, man.
You know, I don't want to take too much time of yours, but I figure an hour would be nice thing to put a button on. And do you want to play that tune you were just playing, or is there something else?
Yeah, we'll play that, man. I mean, we got the distortion on there, so I think that's appropriate. The song's called "Country Boy in a Metalhead Skin." Inspired by the fact that I love death metal and I love old school country, and it's got some what would we say, 80s, 90s references in it. So the song's called "Country Boy in a Metalhead Skin." Oh, yeah, man.
Thank you. Thank you
That's good,
guys
brother.
for watching and checking us out. We'll promise to do more of these live streams soon. Dude, that tone, man, is freaking
Yeah,
wild,
it's
man.
just-
I tried to get something close, like a. Yeah. Oh, it sounds so good, man. So good.
Pretty cool, man.
Dude, thanks for having me, bro.
Dude, thanks for having
As
me, man.
always,
That's good, man.
guys, Steven at TerraVerb, Jesse James at the Peacemakers. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun things you guys do on social media all day. I'd really appreciate a follow, even a comment, a like, a share, anything. Appreciate your time for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Merry
See ya.
Christmas.
Boom.
Thank you.
And there